What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Nerdgasm. Today we are going to be going over Iron Fist episodes 1 and 2, and I'm going to be talking about some of the Easter eggs and just some awesome moments that I enjoyed of the episode, and let me know what you guys think. First, let's talk about the most obvious thing. Danny Rand comes back, and he's just talking about being the Iron Fist. Like, don't you think that this guy should have just a little bit more precaution about who he is and what he does? But no, he's like, yeah, I was in Kunlun. I'm the Iron Fist. Kunlun is this and that. If you guys don't know, Kunlun is one of the 7 capital cities of heaven, and each one of the capital cities has a fighter just like the Iron Fist. And there's even this cool thing they do where there's a tournament every 10 years and then they fight, and whichever warrior wins, that warrior city gets to appear every 10 years instead of every 88 years. Now in the show they changed it up, and Danny Rand said that he was gone for 15 years, which means Kunlun shows up every 15 instead of every 10. Danny Rand also mentions the Thunderer. Now the Thunderer is a guy named Lei Kung, and he was actually a teacher of Danny, and his role is to train all of the males in Kunlun. He's like a kick-ass martial arts master, he's immortal, a bunch of other cool stuff, but I love the fact that they just name dropped this guy out of nowhere, just, oh yeah, Master Lei Kung, the Thunderer, whatever. That was great. One thing that he mentions is that he got the Iron Fist from the dragon Shao Lao. Now, if you don't know who Shao Lao is, it's his dragon named Shao Lao the Undying, and he's called the Undying because once he's killed, he just comes back to life after a little bit of time. He has to literally grow from this infant form back into the big dragon, and he's usually full grown in time for the next guy to fight him and become the Iron Fist. It's just a cycle of death and rebirth, death and rebirth. You've heard it before. I mean, every comic book character is death and rebirth. But an interesting fact about Shao Lao is that if that scar that's shaped like the symbol on Danny's chest is ever covered up, Shao Lao would actually die. Which is a weird weakness, but I mean, hey, you know, it's not my business. And another cute little thing is in the Avengers vs. X-Men saga, they actually have to get the aid of Shao Lao to try and stop a Phoenix Force Cyclops. But because he wasn't fully grown, it was just like this little cute version of Shao Lao, and he was being ridden by the Thunderer and Hope Summers, and it was just adorable. Danny also talks about being in the Order of the Crane Mother. But the Crane Mother was the ruler of one of the cities, and she gives birth to a warrior every 300 years. And at one point, she actually resurrects Davos, and then she gives him the duty to try and go and assassinate the Iron Fist. A huge important thing to note is the character Colleen Wing. In the comic book, she has the ability to harness her chi and do superhuman abilities, things that people who train for a long time and train in places like Kunlun can do. So she's way more of a badass than she is in the comic books on the TV show. And seeing as how, if you saw the ending of Iron Fist, maybe in season 2, she might get some cool stuff and start learning how to channel her chi and become the badass that we see in the comic books. In the comic book, she's known as the Daughter of the Dragon, and there's actually this arc where she teams up with Misty. And you guys might remember Misty from the Luke Cage show if you watched it. Her and Misty become partners, and they do a bunch of stuff. They start calling themselves the Daughters of the Dragon. It's a really great story arc. Check it out if you guys want to. It takes place during the Heroes for Hire Volume 2 story. Another adorable little Easter egg is the passport that we see Danny with in episode 2. The passport's name is John Anderson, and it says that he's from Canada, but in the comic books he's actually from New Zealand. And in the comic books, he's actually Spider-Man's next-door neighbor who helps Spider-Man at one point in time by distracting Dr. Octopus by pretending to be the Kiwi Kid. Also, let's not forget the small but fun Easter egg that we got at the end of the Luke Cage series, where our favorite nurse Claire grabs a flyer for a Kung Fu dojo. It's the same Kung Fu dojo that we see Colleen putting up flyers for in the first episode of Iron Fist. So that's just great that, you know, they introduced the dojo in the Luke Cage series, and then right out the gate in the Iron Fist series, they were like, boom, it's my dojo. Now, some people were saying that Iron Fist was starting off a little bit slow, and I mean, yeah, it takes a little bit of traction, but you guys have to remember, it's not a movie, so it's not going to be as action-packed, as fast. They have to set this stuff up over seasons, and then they have the Defenders coming, so for what it is, it's really good. And I have 3 moments in the first 3 episodes that I actually really enjoyed. The first one is when he breaks into Joy's house. How's he going to get up there? Is he going to do something cool? And he just bounces off the spike on the gate and just goes right up into the building, and I'm like, that is awesome Iron Fist right there. The second one is when he was walking into the street, and a taxi cab comes, and he's like, boom, awesome Iron Fist, backflip, and I was like, yes, that's amazing. Thank you so much. That was so cool. But my favorite part, and I wish I could get this as a moving wallpaper on my phone or just like a moving background on my desktop screen. Oh my God. It's when Danny in the end of episode 2 is like, F this, I'm done, I'm out of here, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm the flipping Iron Fist. You don't even know, Doctor. I'm real. And he just charges and boom, he just pops that freaking door right off the hinges. It was great. I loved it. Iron Fist in your face. It takes 2 episodes to see the Iron Fist, but I mean, I loved it. Honestly, I thought we would see it sooner with how much he's just walking around. He's like, hey, I'm Danny Rand, I'm the Iron Fist. Hey, I'm Danny Rand, I'm the Iron Fist. I mean, he was just going around telling people. It was weird. But that was just some of the stuff that I wanted to point out that I enjoyed, that I saw. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know anything that you guys saw, anything that I missed. What was your favorite parts in the first 2 episodes? Try not to leave spoilers for people who are watching it, guys. And also, I want to let you guys know, I'm going to start using my Twitter more. There is a link in the description below if you guys want to keep up with the updates, because that's the quickest way I can contact you guys, and that's the quickest way you guys can contact me. If you have ideas and you're like, I want to see this video. Hey Nerdgasm, I saw this and I want you to do a video on it. Hey Nerdgasm, I read this comic. Can you do something about that? Hey Nerdgasm, something crazy happened. Could you do a video about that? So Twitter is the best way to try and relay that information to me, and the best way for me to give you guys updates so you guys know that I'm working on them and you guys don't think I'm just like, he's blowing us off. I just have like real stuff to do, and if this channel ever gets to the point where I can do it all the time, you better believe that videos are going to be coming out all the time. Again, check out the Twitter, like it, and if you want to tell your friends that this is a fun place, then you share that video. I don't know why you would share these videos. It's just reviews. I always thought that was kind of weird, but do whatever you guys want. Thank you. I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.